In the last episode, I found chewed up wiring and cracked coil packs, but that was just the beginning of a much longer list of problems. So in this episode, I got straight back into it and started fixing what was actually holding this 2JZ back. First things first, the cooling system needed a proper flush. This thing hadn't been touched in a long time, so I started by pulling the pipes off to let everything drain down properly. I then removed the radiator, which also gave me better access to what was next on the list, the power steering pump that's been a problem for years. Once all the coolant was drained, I pushed the car back into the garage so I can get to work. With the car back in the garage, I took the belt off so I could get to the power steering pump. A while back, my original pump started leaking from the shaft seal, so I replaced it with this one, but it never really worked properly. So instead of fighting with it anymore, I decided to go back to the original setup and rebuild that pump properly. After fitting the pump, I got the belt back on. And of course, Wednesday had to approve the job before we could move on. With that sorted, it was finally time to deal with the coil packs. One quick look at the old setup and it was pretty obvious why things weren't running properly. Luckily, the new coil packs just arrived. I started unpacking everything to see what came in the box. The new coil packs, their own mounting brackets, and even new plugs for the wiring. Definitely a big upgrade from my old setup, and for 750 Rand, I'm honestly pretty impressed. Next, I started removing the old coil packs to make space for the new ones. But before I could get into the wiring properly, I needed a bit more access, so the windshield cowl came off and then it was time to remove the bonnet. Luckily, I had some help. This is Kaylee, my beautiful passenger princess who doesn't mind getting her hands dirty every now and then. And then there's Blue, part-time security guard, full-time chaos. But while these two do what they do best, it was time to get back to work. So I started by vacuuming out all the sand and dirt under the cowl and then moved on to the old chewed up wiring. After stripping out the old coil harness, I could move on to wiring the new setup. The old setup was intelligent coils, but the new ones are what people call dumb coils. So I had to wire in an igniter module to get them firing properly. Now that the igniter module and coil pack harness was wired up, I was finally onto the last steps and started fitting the brackets to mount the coils. But while fitting the bracket for cylinders 1 and 2, it didn't quite clear the valve cover. These coil packs were designed for the non-VVTi setup, so I had to trim the edge of the bracket just to make it fit properly. And once that was sorted, I mounted the coils, clipped everything in one by one, and finally it was time for the moment of truth, to see if everything was wired correctly. And straight away, it fired right up and already sounded good. Let's take it for a slow cruise just to make sure everything's running properly. feels really good to finally drive it again, but I still can't go into boost. With only the one in-tank fuel pump running at the moment, as soon as it tries to build boost, it starts going lean. So for now, it's just about keeping it safe and making it back home. This is only temporary because in the next episode I'm fitting a surge tank with a brand new Bosch external pump so I can finally sort out the fueling issues and start boosting again. But for now, this M3 is showing us some signs of life.